Okay, I'm back. Just so you know, I did swatch out the top colors. Unfortunately, I did have a camera issue and I've lost that video footage. But I don't think that should be a big problem. We can just go on swatching from where I left off. Now, the next color I'm looking to swatch is going to be turquoise. And that's what you see me there. I took the bullet end and put the bar at the top just like I've done with the other colors before this. And then I take some water on the synthetic Taklon bristle number 6 brush, watercolor brush, and I disperse out the color into a gradient to see how well it disperses on this paper. Now the paper I'm using is the Legion Multimedia 100% cotton multimedia paper. It does a good job. There is a few ghosting of some colors where you'll see some line, but it still disperses for the most part, except for one color on this paper I found was mid-blue. Other papers like the Arches cold press, a little bit less so on the Arches smooth press or Arch, however you pronounce it. The Fabriano extra cold press, I had no problems with any of the colors on. So that prompts me going forward is looking at a video where we can sample a bunch of the 100% cotton papers and see what works really the best for the direct application of these watercolor markers. Now here you see me, I'm putting down the next color, which is phthalo green. Again, I did use the bullet end to put the bar at the top and then the brush end to lay down some color at the top and then take the nylon, not nylon, but the Taklon synthetic brush, watercolor brush, with some water to disperse out the color into a gradient. Now, there was a little bit of ghosting at top where you could still see some of the lines, so I paleted out some colors to darken it up and even it up. It's good to know on this paper how these markers are going to react with direct application, so I know how to handle it. I did make several smaller multimedia paper books I sewed up, journals with this paper, so I plan on using markers on it, so it's great that I'm swatching out on it. Now you saw I was looking at the next color, which was the phthalo green yellow shade, number 521. I don't have it, so I've skipped over and I've gone to the Hooker Greens Dark. Again, I put the bar at the top with the bullet in and use the brush tip to lay down some color at the top. I'm taking water now with the synthetic watercolor brush and dispersing out that color. There are other colors that I don't have in this set, although I was really pleasantly surprised at how many I have collected over the years, and luckily the movers didn't get these when I moved a couple years back. Now, I'm done with the Hooker's Green, and I'm going to be looking at the next color. The next color is going to be the Sap Green, because I do not have the Hooker's Green, which is number 311. Again, I'm doing the same thing, put the bar at the top, using the brush tip, lay down some color, and I'm going to be dispersing that out. Now, the colors I don't have so far is the Cad Yellow Light, which is at the top. Another one at the top is a Cad Red Pale. That's 103, and then the Cad Yellow Light was 119. And I don't have the Phthalo Blue Red shade, which is 514. As I said before, I don't have the Phthalo Green Yellow shade, 521, nor the Hooker's Green 311. So far in the color swatching. And the next color I'm going to be looking to put down is Yellow Ochre. The great thing is, yes, Blick did replace the Yellow Ochre. I got it in a cellophane wrapper, just like the original one. It was probably just an oddball that I got it was so dried up. This one's nice and juicy. So thank you, Blick, for replacing that. And I guess Winsor Newton, everybody has, you know, the odd one out. And I'm assuming that's what happened here. There was some issues in the past, but that's all been pretty much cleared up from what I can see from my research and what I've experienced. The other nice thing is that some of the colors I've had for 3 to 4 years now, and they're, when I open them back up, they're still nice and juicy. They haven't dried up, really. So that also tells me the quality of this marker is such a nice marker. Now, I had done a couple pictures in the past. One I wasn't really very upset over, which was when I tried to use it in the Strathmore Multimedia. It does not work. Although, from my understanding, it does work on the Strathmore series, 500 series watercolor paper, cold press. So, let's see if we can get that paper as well. I think I may have a little booklet type thing. So I'll gather up some papers. Maybe I can get some help with some paper samples. I'll ask and see. And we'll do a video of swatching the colors out. Maybe 3 or 4 colors that I know are possible issues with various papers, and see how they all perform. I'm just dispersing out the color of the raw sienna, which is this color, and that's number 522. The great thing I like, and I hope you can tell, is how vibrant these colors really are. Sometimes looking at that printout, you don't get the true sense of the depth of the color and so forth, or you don't see it on the screen. It depends on your screen and how you have their printer set up and calibrated. But when swatching this out and looking at these colors, they're just quite vibrant. I like the way they lay down, even with some of the light ghosting of the lines left behind. And with this particular paper, on other things, other papers, like I said, with the Artistico cold press, I didn't see it. Just a slight hint of maybe a ghosting on one color with the arch, or arches, however you pronounce it, smooth press. I'm out of the cold press right now. We'll see. Maybe by the time we do this, I'll have some back in again. We'll just have to wait and see. I'm using the paper I have right now, so I'm not sure when that will be. This particular color is the burnt sienna. A very nice version of burnt sienna, I must say. Winsor Dreamer. It correlates pretty well with the colors that you get the professional grade. I also possibly Cotman, but I do like these markers. And yes, I have done some paintings. I was going to include one of the paintings I'm finishing up during this swatching. I'm in the process of doing the last bit on it. But this video is getting a little bit long, so I think I'll put that into another video. And who knows, maybe we'll do a small reading card or something with the markers as well. So, some future ideas for videos. Let me know if that's what you want to see, and we'll go from there and see what we can do. Now, the next color on that list was, that I just finished up doing before this, was the burnt red. It's kind of like a red ochre almost to me. Now, the one color I had to skip over was raw umber. I don't have that color, and that's color number 554. The color I'm doing here is the burnt umber, and that's color 076. All these colors is really great with this marker is they're all very light fast, if not excellent. The light fast rating that you'll see on the sheet, as I mentioned earlier in the video, is the ratings of AA is excellent, A is excellent, B is moderate, and then after that it's low or fugitive. None of these colors is any lower than the A, which is excellent. We do have 2 of the colors in this line that is rated AA, absolutely rock solid, excellent. And those 2 colors is, one of the colors is burnt sienna, which is AA, and the other one is lamp black, which is AA. All the rest of them are A. So that's good to know as well, especially since if you're on cotton paper, you can use it and not worry about it fading out or being of less quality than what maybe your watercolor set. So here, this particular color that I'm doing is the indigo. I couldn't find the sepia. I know I have the color, but I had to go past that. For some reason I wasn't seeing it. Now there's a little bit ghosting at the top where the color didn't move so much, and I wanted to darken up, so I plated some off, and I'm just now going back in and getting a little bit better gradient with the indigo. Okay, I'm going through the colors again, and I do believe, yep, I see the sepia, and I'm going to be using it. That's the one I could, for whatever reason, I just kept overlooking it and just went to the indigo rather than waste any time. So let's swatch out the sepia, which is that one there. That's color 609. It is Light Fast A. Very good Light Fast. And again, I use the bullet tip a couple times at the top to make the bar of the solid color, and then lay down with a brush the color that I'm going to be adding water to disperse that with my synthetic watercolor brush, number 6. Okay. Now I clean up my brush. I'm getting ready for the next color, and that color I'm looking for right now is, I believe, yes, Payne's Gray. I found it. I'm using the nib to put down the solid dark bar of color, and then using the brush nib to lay down some color to disperse out. And Payne's Gray number is 468. Its Light Fast is very good, A to excellent. So again, very nice views. Now my final color I'm going to swatch out is Ivory Black. Again, using the bullet tip to put down the solid bar, and then using the brush tip to lay down color at the top, and I'm going to be dispersing that out. Its light fastness is very good. It's A to excellent. And I'm just going to put some more color in. When you use the marker tip over a wet area, it can drain out the color for a little bit, just like on other markers. You need to sit for a couple minutes, and then it'll be back to full strength again. Now that's all the colors I have. The last color in the list, which I don't have, is the Lamp Black. Now coming up, I'm bringing up the fully completed swatch page image I took. I believe you can read the writing hopefully on that. I like these markers. I have used them in doing some watercolor paintings, and I'm going to be using a couple more. I'll show you that in the future, and one I'm just about ready to complete, which I'm very happy with. And I see using these possibly in the field. Is it a big advantage over using a travel watercolor set? I wouldn't say that much because of the number of markers I'll be carrying. It won't be the full number here. I'd be more like 12, maybe 14 of the colors I have swatched out here. But I think you don't have any setup time as long as you can disperse it on the paper easily, and you can get an image down. Even if it does have some ghosting line, you can use that to your advantage on like edges, and then disperse that across like a building to get that type of look. And if you need to even up, you can do that when you get back in the studio, or if you have time on site. So these are the swatches. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. It really helped me out and let me know what you like watching. Until next time, you have a wonderful day.